The volcanoes that created the Hawaiian Islands continue to produce massive amounts of airborne contaminants that are of concern to the health of local inhabitants. The scientific study of this problem raises a number of technically challenging issues. On the Big Island of Hawaii, air contaminant emissions are carried by the trade winds from the volcanoes around to the inhabited lee side of the island to create what is called VOG, or volcanic smog. The volcanic air emissions come from the Kilauea summit, from along the ring of craters, especially Pu'u'o'o, and from the ocean entry where the lava flows directly into the ocean. These conditions lead to reduced visibility and possible ill health effects. In addition, the gaseous and particulate emissions, such as the rare earth elements, might be possible indicators of future volcanic activity. NASA is cooperating with the United States Geological Survey's Hawaiian Volcano Observatory and the National Park Service to address this issue in Hawaii. In particular, NASA's Environmental Research Aircraft and Sensor Technology Program, called the ERAST program, is developing remotely piloted aircraft for cost-effective science missions and is actively pursuing a new class of miniaturized scientific instruments. AeroVironment, a company specializing in both remotely piloted aircraft and environmental sampling, was chosen by NASA's ERAST program to study these volcanic air emissions in Hawaii. Kilauea's volcanic activity over recent years has included significant lava flow activity, as well as the current conditions of lava surfacing at Pu'u'o'o, and then flowing through underground lava tubes down to the ocean entry. Air emissions include carbon dioxide, CO2, a global warming compound, sulfur dioxide, SO2, and other sulfur compounds and particulate contaminants, as well as chlorides coming from the violent interaction of the lava and the ocean. Sampling these emissions and determining emission rates is difficult because of the dangers involved with collecting samples close to the immense heat and airborne contamination near the lava flows. Collecting these samples using a remotely piloted aircraft therefore results in an effective study without putting the researchers at risk. The Pointer, a hand-launched, remotely piloted aircraft developed by AeroVironment for military reconnaissance, has been reconfigured to collect samples in dangerous and inaccessible locations for NASA's ERAST program. AeroVironment has designed two lightweight environmental sampling systems, each weighing less than 2 pounds, to fit the Pointer. One is for gaseous compounds, to collect gas samples into an inert Tedlar bag using a vacuum pump, and the other, a particulate filter sampler, gathers both particulate and gaseous contaminants. With this sampler, 2 simultaneous samples are separated and collected into large and small particles, and then treated filters collect specific gaseous contaminants, such as sulfur compounds. This study collected samples at the Kilauea summit and downwind of Pu'u'o'o. The purpose was to understand the chemical composition and atmospheric chemistry of these emissions near their sources. At the Kilauea summit, gas samples are of most interest. The field study involved collecting gas samples at various heights above the ground to provide measurements of the various volcanic plumes emanating from many locations throughout the summit. The U.S. Geological Survey also simultaneously analyzed SO2 concentrations using a COSPEC instrument to compare with the airborne samples. At Pu'u'o'o, the particulate filter sampler is better suited to characterize the volcanic plumes. To collect these samples, the Pointer was flown directly into the volcanic plumes using the onboard video camera downlink to guide the remote pilot. The Pointer also utilizes an onboard global positioning system both for navigation and to record the precise position of the Pointer during these sampling flights. The gas analysis was performed on-site by scientists from the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. Particulate filter samples were sent to an environmental laboratory for analysis. The results from this study will be shared with other researchers through presentations at technical seminars and published in peer-reviewed technical papers. This NASA ERAS study has demonstrated the value of using remotely piloted aircraft to perform environmental science research more safely and economically than ever before.